We're tested. Anybody have any questions? Just say go.
Good to go.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to our 6th already, session of the Red Storm Rising campaign adventure titled The Darkest Dream.
Longest day ever.
Yeah, no kidding. It's about to get longer.
Oh.
Size matters.
Hey.
This game is designed by Gooey Cube, and the GUI matters too, and it's presented by the Greater Mulmaster Beholder Corps, where we hope your minds will be opened by wonder. And I'm sure they will tonight, because there are some wondrous, trippy things we're about to do. So, we're excited to begin this adventure and hope all our viewers enjoy it as well. And as always, playing this evening are Zane, the mighty Theros, Mark, Fleegan, the Flame Seer, Lee, the Blade Dancing Kenna, who gets groped, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have Gror, played by the mighty Trey, and our tech wizard himself, Chris, who is Kimber, our healer, and he is going to come in handy, I tell you what. So I am the emissary of the Great Mother, also known as Casey to some people, and I ask you all aberrations. Shall we begin tonight?
Yeah.
All right, I love to hear that. The eyes have it. So here we go. Picking a fight is a great way to go when it's done with a flair and all part of the show. So I will reach out to Gror. Would you like to tell us what happened in our last session and get a GUI reward as recompense for your efforts?
Aye!
All right. Hit it.
Well, the last session, being episode 5, Gror has entitled, "It Was a Great Day." It started off with the losers, Worston, who lost an archery contest, Big Ned, who was pummeled with sticks by a lady, and Jen, who embarrassed Fleegan. Of the 3 contests that we won, the best of 2, I guess, we won. They were whining and bitching, and they were sent away by Cray. Gror went to talk to his father, Stoof, while we all were kind of getting more information from Cray, and he left half of the treasure with him, which would be the share of the Blue Veils. Stoof told Gror, though, that the Shiner crew that we had recovered from the shed was bad, and it had all been poured out as waste. Cray told us all, as I think just about the time Gror got back, that we were to keep secret that our troop was being followed. And then we went off to the Tent of Veils, and we heard from Maven, the leader of the dancers, that all the dancers are just off a little bit today, and there's also rumors of dark times ahead. Not that that wasn't uplifting enough, but we all went to see the Cirrus, Mother Salvenza, who asked Fleegan to pick the pockets of some not-paying adepts. But before he could do this exciting deed of daring, a large woman and a small mob came to yell at the Cirrus. That's how big the woman was. She was much bigger than the mob. They were saying that she was fake and gives false prophecies, and Kimber told them all to calm down and spoke of the delights of the Carnival. Fleegan went and picked some of the pockets of the people in the mob, recovering the mighty hoard of 1 gold piece and 10 silver pieces. And then Theros went to try to talk to the large woman to calm her down and talk about his fine blacksmithing skills, of which she really could care less. Kimber's words, though, dispersed the crowd, and then Gror and Theros tried to carry the mother to safety in the tent. But then suddenly, in a cant that only Fleegan could understand, she read us
I'm
a dire prophet.
special.
He rode in the short wagon, right? And then after she came about and we took her in the tent, she asked us to go protect the carnival. When we were walking around, a large, ugly Shiner man was seen peddling not really good-looking meat, and Gror thinks that it was rotten at the very least. He was in the seller's row, and we had all kind of went there. Gror then thought this was a great opportunity to flirt, perhaps, with the dwarfess that he had met early, Tiandra. And when he was trying to look slyly into the glass-blowing tent and catch a glimpse of her, he instead tripped over a root.
That's what he said.
No doubt by the dwarven god of love, and then broke a shelf of glass. We're pretty sure, as far as this goes, from Gror's thinking, that this is a good thing and the proper way to introduce yourself to a potential dwarf mate. But Tiandra sent him away in disgust to reverse the whole scenario later, I'm sure, in this campaign. But that was a great day, ruined, in Gror's opinion. Next, the drunks at the stage show charged the stage, and our party had to run to try to save them. Gror, thinking only about himself, of course, failed to stop a drunk, but he did dodge another that fell unconscious in the dirt. There was a large, strong drunk on the stage that we were all trying to get control of. Gror was thrown off the stage by him, and later managed to grab his feet and trip him. Fleegan was watching a couple that Theros had recognized back in the seller's row and came running then, and the brawl ensued, and Fleegan entered with a dive at someone's knees, taking them down. Gror finally got the drunk off his feet and landed on him with a full mount and screamed into his face to stay down. Luckily, the drunk passed out then, making that a very successful effort. Kimber, though, talked another drunk into leaving the fight. He's apparently a very silver-tongued negotiator.
Or he's just very persuasive.
Theros took out two drunks at the end of the brawl with a clothesline, and then a tope suicida is the wrestling name for the dive off the stage. Kenna threatened another woman, and that woman just crawled away from the fight. She was so drunk. So the fight was over then, so the performers jumped back on the stage and won the crowd, and we all joined them for bows in front of the audience over the defeated drunks. And Theros posed a bodybuilding style routine.
Like we said, it was all part of the show.
Hey,
who was
almost done.
Another employee from the Tent of Illusions came to find us and asked us to come help there. When we got there, Strem told us that there's a beast in the tent, and it is very dangerous, and that we must stop and remove said beast. And that's when Gror stopped writing notes, and we ended the session.
Well, thank you. Great retelling that gathered all of it together in one succinct statement, and you did a mighty wonderful job about that. So go ahead and roll on the Gooey reward table. You have earned yourself a reward. Let's see what he gets tonight, folks.
Yay.
Tell me what I won, DM.
You need to go over to the Gooey reward table over the collections tab. You'll find a button for that. All right, what did you get? You get an advantage on a saving throw tonight. You can use that and actually you can hold on to that. It doesn't even have to be used tonight, but you can have that for however long it is until you use it, and then it goes away. But congratulations and thank you for that. All right, everybody, go ahead and give me a D20 roll. Everybody else, and let's see if anybody else, the rolls are with them. Oh, we're close. We're close. Are we gonna make it? One more, let's see. Oh, we were, but not anymore tonight. So Gror's the one who walks away with the Gooey reward for this evening, and we shall proceed. So, all right. Well, he had mentioned that another employee whose name was Chelsea came running up to you all, and she's actually mute, and so therefore you know that she doesn't speak, but she tugs urgently at your sleeves and points towards the tent of illusions and dragged you guys over there, and you talked to Stoof, and Stoof told you that there was apparently some beast in there. And he said, again, just to remind you, we don't know how it got in there, but there's something in the tent. With all the spells going off in there, it's impossible to tell what it is. He uneasily looks back through the tent's open flaps. It could be anything, and we're just guessing that there's only one. There could definitely be more, though. Now, we don't want to panic, but we can't have one of the best attractions scaring off good coin like this. I'm thinking you need to go in there and get it out. So what do you all do?
I guess we go in and get it out.
Is that the consensus, my friends?
Yes, that's our job, to go get things.
Kenna walks in.
Let's secure.
Hey!
Okay. All right. So
That's right. Let the mage go first.
All
She has a tendency to do that a lot.
All right. Well, you pull the flap aside, and you step inside. For a moment, you are nearly overwhelmed by a wave of distorted images and a cacophony of strange sounds wash over you. Soon, however, the feeling passes, and you find yourself on a path. Looking back, you see that the tent flap behind you has closed and disappeared. Are you the only one in there, Ken, or did everybody follow her?
Not sure.
I am going to follow.
Okay.
I'm following.
Well, as you guys follow in, those who are inside just see you kind of pass through the strange images behind you as you pass in, and then as you pass in, you see the same thing that Kenna sees there. Before you, a forest of tree-sized, multi-hued mushrooms rise on all sides. Translucent bubbles, glowing with every color imaginable, and some you can't even describe, float between the mushrooms and across the path. The odd fungus and bright bubbles give off a rainbow of illumination. But beyond them, you see nothing but darkness. You almost feel as though you are in a deep cave, well, perhaps under a starless night sky. The only way forward is to follow the narrow, winding path.
So this is what it's like to be on shrooms.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Hey guys, do you
is
remember
anybody more
Winter's
familiar with
End?
it?
Remember that one year, Winter's End, Fleegan found those strange shrooms? I think you're right. This is what I remember seeing.
When you ate those strange shrooms?
You and I remember that evening very differently.
Did you
Very well.
did you enjoy the evening going off and having fun with the shrooms?
I remember a really bad headache at the end of the night, but before that it seemed pretty good.
I will take Graxel and swing it through one of the shrooms gently, just to see if it's an illusion or if...
Okay, so you pull out the mighty Graxel and you take a big swing at one of the giant shrooms standing next to you, where its trunk, the stem of the mushroom, is probably bigger around than you are wide. And you have a feeling that it will go through a illusion, because you know this is the tent of illusions. But surprisingly enough, it feels to you as if the axe bites into the flesh of the mushroom, and as it splits open under the slicing of your mighty axe, it has the inside is a kind of a the stem itself is somewhat grayish, but the inside is a kind of a iridescent purplish color, and it's a very odd sensation, because you expected it to be an illusion, but it seemed as if it was
Hmm.
I don't know if we're dealing with illusions.
Those are good
Whatever you do,
shrooms.
don't lick it. Are any of us familiar with this tent, or more familiar with this tent, Casey?
You know that it's one of the popular attractions because of the magic that they use. It's often a area where you pass through magnificent illusional visions that to the senses seem corporeal and fascinating. It takes on different landscapes each time. A lot of times from day to day, even because people will come back even the next day or the following week or something as you guys set up the carnival. And so it's not always the same thing. In this particular one, you haven't experienced before, but you know that is quite well received because it's such a powerful visual experience.
Well, some of us haven't experienced it before. Should we just take the tent down?
I don't know. There
Well,
could be people inside
no.
too. Do we know who's in charge or creates the illusions or
Yeah,
controls the tent?
Vestia and Skizig are the two magic user illusionists of the troupe, and there's two tents for the illusion tents, and this is the kind of the illusionary path. The other tent is where they do like a magic show basically. And they were not there when you came up. Chelsea is one of the assistants, and she's the one who came and got you, and Stu talked to you, so you didn't see Vestian and Skizig. They were probably in the other tent having a show or something like that. But as of this point, you guys have passed into the tent, and the opening behind you has disappeared, and all that seems to be is the path in front of you at this point.
Arch tries to call out for them then and yells, Vestias! Skizig! Please help us! We have been sent in by Strem. We must find the beasts.
Okay, you wait, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 seconds for him to respond, and you don't hear anything other than just the odd, not odd, but the general sounds of what seems to fit the illusion that you are hearing even right now.
Let's follow the trail and keep our eye very, very alert and wary. Let's try to find where these things are. If they're being affected by the illusions as well, they may be following this path as well.
And Fleegan's going to be poking the mushrooms as he goes by with his finger.
Okay.
Or wants
All
to
right,
poke
also-
Fleegan after he sees this.
Okay. So you all are going to kind of start heading down the path. The Fleegan's poking mushrooms. So what was Gror doing again?
Poking Fleegan after he sees that Fleegan's poking the mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. The other thing may not have. There's these translucent bubbles that are kind of floating around you as you're walking through, and you guys start heading down the path. And, maybe after about 20 feet, as you're walking down the path itself, suddenly several of the bubbles around you pop, and emerging out of them, a ravenous shoal of thousands of quippers, little fishies, swim through the air towards you. The lambent glow from the mushrooms glint off countless rows of tiny, razor-sharp teeth in the mouths of the colorful fish as they zip about through the gloom, ready to flint the flesh from bones. So,
And it's times like these
initiative.
It's times like these I really, really
like
wish that I had
Token.
area of effect spells. Way to blow that nat 20.
I know.
Always happens, doesn't it? Always happens.
Almost once per combat, one of us gets a 20 initiative. Nat 20.
All right. So, did everybody get in initiative? So, yep. So Theros is up there with 22, and then Kimber has a 20. Kenna has a 12 there. Fleegan a 14 or a 15. Where's the end? So, Theros, you're up. What would you like to do?
I'm going to turn the mighty Graxel sideways and use it more club-wise to make it wider and swing through the swarm.
Okay.
Swing, bada bada.
All right. As you're doing that, go ahead and for me. As you're doing that, imagine, if you will, I think you have. I can't remember it. If you've seen this, either scuba dive before, you've seen this before. Video, a giant school of fish moving as one, and as you swing your axe, they just kind of disperse around it, and you're unable to get to them as you swing through them. Kimber.
I don't remember it being like this.
What is this?
All right, let's see. Oh shoot! I don't want to do that. We're inside a tent. I'm gonna swing with my mace.
Okay. All right. Again, as you take a swing with your maces, they go swimming on by, and it looks like they're going to go and try and attack somebody with their sharp teeth. They just very expertly move around the swing of your mace. So, Gror, you see this going on, and it seems like these things are going to be hard to hit fast, and seem to anticipate what you're doing even before you do it. So, what's your idea?
Inspired by Kimber's diplomacy, but using my own tactics of it, I will not swing at them since that seems ineffective, but I will try to intimidate them by yelling and screaming directly into them.
Okay.
With a mighty roar.
Okay. Your choice, animal handling or intimidation?
Intimidation.
Okay. All right. This
with a mighty groar.
If you don't have inspiration for that, go ahead.
Nice.
With a mighty groar. The small bearded man takes his hands and starts waving them and yelling at them, trying to get them to swim away from you all. And they kind of swim towards him, and then they turn and they swim around. It's unclear whether or not you had an effect, or if they just decided that you weren't tasty enough to latch onto. So, Fleegan, you're next.
Oh, Fleegan, yell.
Yeah, okay. I will take my finger and wiggle at him and say, "Bad fishies!"
Okay, animal handling or intimidation?
I hope they're an illusion, because we're in trouble.
Yeah.
All right. The bad little fishies kind of swim up to you, and then it looks like they're going to swarm around you and start biting you. And but it seems as if maybe the one behind you is what they're going after. So they kind of part as they go around you, and they kind of flap right on by. And you feel them as they go right on by your ears and over the top of your bald head as they go after Kenna. What are you going to do, Kenna?
Okay, well, going into the blade dance here. Pirouette of blades and both short sword and wakizashi.
Okay.
Do what I can to hurt them badly.
So she pulls out the double-fisted swing of the sword, and the first one surprisingly slashes through air. How about the second one? And the second one, you stab out to try and skewer as many of them as you can, and your your wakizashi, as it goes, it seems to, you're expecting it just to stab right through one and go into the next and go into the next and everything, and you just kind of go right through them as you realize immediately that they definitely are illusory. And as you pass through them, they all just kind of fade and dissipate into nothingness. And then-
What kind of initiative is an 8.1?
I had turned on a setting in Roll20 that deals with taking dexterity into account, and I think that's what it did.
Yeah.
I think because your character sheets were created before I turned that on, it doesn't affect your thing. So I was trying to figure that out earlier, and I thought, well, I'll just not talk about it right now. So you may see that from time to time. So, all right. Well, yeah. So it seemed like you were going to be overwhelmed and completely surrounded by the swarm of the Quippers. And they dart in as one with their jaws wide, ready to slice you to ribbons. But then they harmlessly disappear and transfer back into small, colorful bubbles at that very last moment. And away they go.
Do we know, have we seen illusions in here act similar to that, very kind of threateningly
Yes.
in the past? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's one of the highlights of the illusions is
the adrenaline rush,
yeah, the adrenaline rush and the danger sense that could be there. The concern, though, that you got from Stoof as he was telling you to go in there is somebody let a beast into there, and so maybe you may or may not know if it's if real or not, and that's kind of the scary thing, because if you have customers that are coming through there, it's possible that they could get hurt by something that they don't think is real, and it turns out to be. So that's the danger. And that's why they ask you guys to go in and take a look. So, all right, you ready to proceed on?
Yes. I should go away.
Okay.
Unless somebody else would like to take point.
Remember,
I'll
take
take
a deep
point.
breath so you're doing good.
All right. Why don't you guys go ahead and put yourselves
Okay.
your line of marching order there.
Do you want me to take point?
Just use the initiative order.
No, I'll take point.
I'll follow right behind you then.
Okay.
I will go last.
All right. Okay.
Might it
there's our
behoove
march.
us to tie a rope around each one of our waists and make a line, just in case one of us gets lost?
What's with you and ropes?
What's with you and getting lost?
Well, we wouldn't technically have to tie it except for to the first and last person. The others we can just sort of wrap around.
Yeah. But just my concern is that if we get into this, we could be 5 feet apart and not know it, and one of us could get lost.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially with
this
the
tent isn't that
illusions.
big anyway, so that whatever we're
True.
taking is 5 feet isn't probably 5 feet.
Yeah, the interesting thing about it is your perception. Think of it as a holodeck almost.
Right.
Your perception is hard to kind of understand because it's magical. And
I think we should just
where you
definitely
think a
stay
wall-
together at the very
Yeah,
least.
definitely stay together.
I agree
Stay
with
together.
you, and I'd hate to swing and hit Theros in the back of the head, then him turn around and cleave me.
It would be like every other training session.
I hope not.
Yeah, but Theros knows how to use that axe, and he's done it with quite masterful ways with us thus far. So,
I'm pretty sure we'll be fine.
well, as you guys move on, you follow the path through a thicket of mushrooms and continue through hovering clouds of bubbles that don't turn into fish anymore. and the shifting colors and unnatural movements of your surroundings makes you dizzy. Would make me dizzy. Somehow, you miss the shift in the surroundings as you unexpectedly find yourself in a proper forest. Well, kind of
Okay.
proper.
Except for the grinning moon.
So now
How far can we see behind ourselves? Like, can we see the prior terrain or the doorway or anything?
No, actually, you find your behind you. It seems as if the forest path continues very similar to the look of where you're at now, behind you, off into the distance, as far as you see. Yeah, you find yourselves in a proper forest. The trunks of the trees gleam brilliant white, while the leaves shine blue. The space is now a sky replete with a colossal pale green moon and a massive grinning face covering its surface. Wispy balls of multicolored light dance in the trees, moving with definite and unfathomable purpose. A broad, slowly flowing creek of water runs across the path before you, and a narrow stone bridge spans the flowing water to connect with the path on the other side. Dancing upon it is a little man wearing pointy shoes, knickers, and a red vest, all under a bright blue hat. His bristly walrus-like mustache and bushy eyebrows are a shocking neon green. As you approach, you can hear him singing a song in time with his dance, though it seems to be in a language you've never heard before. It is a melodious and joyful tune, and it melds seamlessly with the quiet burbling of below. He sings, Komli fendi Mr. Breeze, fonda fleeble oba sensa senda dees, and the bostas om. What do you do?
I think that's the first time I've heard knicker.
So, guys, I'd just like to say,
Yeah.
despite the fact that the trees are blue, the moon is happy.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's not a blue moon.
Well, the trees may be sad, but the moon isn't.
Well, let's continue down the path.
Continue towards the little singing guy
And the knickers.
in his knickers.
In his little knickers, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the little man looks at you as you approach him. He looks you right in the eye and he winks, but he continues to hop and twirl along the path, and each line of his song rhymes, but it remains in his sing-song, unintelligible language. Skiddly diddly bobby doo, sinte conde fonde poo, easy alla, folly scan, and you sing galandega. As he continues to sing.
Okay, can
You
we
see
get
that-
past him?
You can pass him, yeah. And he's just
Okay.
dancing along. And as this is happening, you see the giant face of the wink at you as well. And then eventually his dance draws
I
to a
wink back.
close. And you wink back. Okay. Give me a perception check, please.
Nice.
A good roll!
Yeah. Nothing happens. His dance finally draws to a close, and he points behind you and says in common, "Watch out!" And with another wink, he disappears in a puff of multicolored smoke, and bursting out of the ground just behind you, two huge badgers lunge forward, growling and snapping as they attack. Roll initiative, please.
Ah,
Are they regular badgers or anthropomorphic badgers?
They're giant badgers.
Ooh, the
Badgers.
best
We
kind.
don't need those stinking badgers.
There's an unnatural 20. How's that?
I'm lucky if I can even get those.
Is the river flowing the same direction that the little guy is going with his little dance? back
Well,
towards
yeah,
where we came from?
the path away from as you guys came in, it was moving that direction, and he was kind of dancing that direction too. And
He's dancing away from us, like as if he were leading us. He's dancing towards us. I thought he was
he
coming
was not.
towards.
No, you guys were kind of moving towards him, and so he was dancing, just
Kind of
very
in place.
Yeah,
Okay.
and maybe he was moving that direction a little bit, but as you guys got closer to him and he kind of moved around, then he winked at you and then he yelled, "Watch out!" Behind you, and you guys turned around and saw badgers, and he disappeared, poof, as the moon winked at you as well. So
Okay.
I need to roll initiative. The badgers here. All right. So everybody got their initiative in. Let's go ahead and in order.
Yeah, I found where to activate the
Yeah, I saw that.
initiative thing.
Yep. So if you guys want to do that, that'll actually help if you tie with initiative. Me having to ask. You click on the little cogwheel on your character sheet. There's a setting in there that allows to add dexterity to.
Yeah, it's just a little checkbox.
Yeah. So, okay, this over here. All right. And believe it or not, they surprised you. So Fleegan, they're going to attack you.
It's all because I was getting fresh with the moon, wasn't it?
I think so. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these guys back over here. And we'll just go with that. Okay. So the first one is going to attempt to claw you, Fleegan. That is going to hit.
Owie.
And the damage for that is going to be...
Blinded by the sun, tricked by the moon.
Why did it automatically roll damage? Hang on a second. Turn this on. Always roll advantage. Don't auto roll damage. There we go. Apologize for that. All right. So he is going to claw at you for 5 slashing. The other one's going to attempt to bite your little feet, and you move out of the way just as it tries to bite your foot.
Nasty.
So,
Yes,
all right.
I like my toes. They get hurt.
All right, Theros. What are you going to do?
Is the path wide enough that I can get by everyone?
Yeah.
Then I shall move back and golf swing at one of them with Graxel.
Just go ahead and move which there's enough space on either side of it. Okay. So you can take a swing at that one. All right. You take a swing at it. Jumps away at just the very last second, and your swing goes wide with the mighty Graxel. So,
Man,
else?
Theros, jeez, your attack
I
rolls
really
are
need-
horrible.
All the monsters to have 8 legs or more for me to be effective with Graxel.
We're going to call you Theros, the Arachnid Slayer.
Maybe you should try a different weapon and just see if it's Graxel or you.
I don't know. Kimber, tell me what your plan is.
Well, I'm not sure I can fit back there. And do I see that Fleegan actually took some real damage from this thing?
He got slashed pretty good right in the upper leg. Did he take a lot of damage? Well, I mean, it seems as if as hard as they hit him, he's probably okay for another slash, maybe.
Yes, they hurt me.
I'm just shocked that the illusion hurt him, so I'm going to Sacred Flame that illusion.
Okay. Is that a saving throw? I can't remember.
Sacred Flame, Radiance damage on target must succeed a Dexterity save or take a D8 Radiant damage.
Okay, he's gonna succeed because I know
Yep.
your spell save is not nice.
That's just not okay.
So
It's not cool, man. Not cool.
So you pray to Kismia to smite them with holy fire, and maybe because you're in the tent, maybe not, to honor your rest. The holy fire
Kismet.
comes down, but doesn't
She sees
ignite
past the illusion. It is me.
the badger. So Fleegan, what are you going to do with this thing that slashed you across the leg?
I'm going to stab him back.
Okay.
Hopefully twice.
All right. You take a mighty stab and skewer it for how much damage?
11 hits.
11 hits. 7 piercing. Snake attack because Theros is right next to it. Distracting it, so a total of 9 damage on that one. And it's bleeding pretty profusely from your stab. So you get your offhand is going to be a fumble on the fumble table.
Oh,
Theros just got a nice new set of stitches in his thigh, didn't he?
Your swing unbalances so you so much that you make one melee attack against you as a reaction. So you got unbalanced and it saw that. So it reaches out and tries to slash you with its claw, and it just barely misses.
I apparently was so surprised I hit with my first attack.
All right, Gror, what are you going to do?
Since I'm right by Fleegan, I'll join him in attacking that same one.
Okay. You'll probably want to move up right next to him. Okay, you take your mighty magical battle axe and you hit it right square between the eyes. How much damage? Yep. You cleave it right between the eyes and you just split its skull in two as it dies.
Does it remain whole?
Yes.
Unlike the
does.
bubbles or anything else?
These badgers, you're pretty darn sure are real at this point.
It bleeding, not glowy,
Bleeding.
nope. Iridescent material?
Nope. Yep, you just cleaved its brain open.
Brain.
Yeah. So bits of bone and brain kind of splatter around on the side.
The old dwarven saying, if it has a brain, we can kill it.
Yeah. So Theros, the one right in front of you, is somewhat ravenous, and it goes after the biggest thing that's in its way because you kind of positioned yourself between it and Fleegan, and it takes a bite out of you. Does a 17 hit right now? Do you have your shield out?
I do, but it doesn't work against piercing. It's only slashing and bashing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it gets its big fangs up inside the spokes of the wheel, and it's able to bite you for 5 piercing damage. All right, Kenna, you're up.
all right.
Ken,
Move
I
up
think these
here.
are real.
They appear to be. I'm going to take a swing at both weapons. That's a
All
crit.
right, that is a critical hit. Natural. Go ahead. Table. You feel it is imperative to press the advantage no matter the cost. You can choose to gain advantage on all attacks until the end of your next turn. But if you do, all enemies have advantage on their attack against you as well. Well, there's
Okay.
only one.
Yep,
So.
I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Totally taking advantage of it.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Especially since I'm the one that's taking the hits.
So 10
Yeah,
piercing
me too.
damage with that blade. And then are you making a second attack with your Wakizashi?
Oh, yeah.
All right, you got advantage on that one too, and you're able to stab it for how much damage? All right. And you skewer the thing on a spit. Must go through a vital organ or something, and it falls dead to the ground as well.
Good.
So, upon this path in this strange, odd-looking forest with a smiling green moon above your eyes, you manage to take down two giant badgers fairly easily, although they did a little bit of damage to your party.
So far, we've seen badger mushroom. Next is a snake.
Who
Flying
wants to
fish.
check
I
the
didn't put
corpse of
two and
the
two
badger?
together. Say that again, Gore. I'm sorry, I was laughing.
Who wants to check the corpse of the badger? Like, is the blood warm? Like, does it feel, liquidy?
It does,
There-
yes. It feels warm and real. And these are dead corpses that you split the brains open on one, and the other one you stab through a vital organ. So these were obviously real. They were not illusion, in your opinion.
Not fake, people. Not fake.
We've gotten rid of the beasts, appears.
Maybe not all of them. We're still going to need to continue until we find the entrance.
We're not going to be able to get back to the entrance until we're down through the path. Let's go.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that's probably accurate.
I assume you want us back in our order.
Yeah. Yep. So just
Do we want to go 2 by 2? Assuming the path is that wide.
Yeah, that's fine.
We could do that.
That's fine.
There's we need to talk to your dad about where to set up the carnival next time.
Giant bears, snakes,
Badgers.
badgers.
Badger, mushroom.
That's okay. We've got cows.
Well, you guys did have the snakes
Snake.
already.
Yep.
Snakes.
Yeah.
You had the snakes already. I think there's a theme.
Yep.
You know,
Me
so I
thinks
was
I'm gonna
calling
have
him.
to ask the Great Wizard about that one.
I was calling him my dad until just now. Then I'm not Theros' dad.
All right.
You're all my brethren. He can be dad to all of us.
Just not right now.
Oh, golly.
Darn, I'm so glad I'm
So you guys,
one of your
you guys-
brethren.
Yeah. Do you guys pass up over the bridge then and head on down the trail?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I will keep an eye out for sneaky badgers that like to come up behind us.
Do you need healing, Fleegan?
Maybe when we get back out a little bit. I'm about halfway down.
I can cast Cure Wounds if you need me to.
All right. Hearing nothing else, you guys head on. You said you crossed up over the bridge. So as you cross the bridge, in the blink of an eye, the scenery has changed once again.
I'm nauseous. That's not friendly.
The bright face of the moon has disappeared behind grim, stormy clouds of blue and purple. The forest still surrounds you, but it is dark and presses in menacing. The trees have lost their leaves, and out of the corner of your eye, you could swear you see the gnarled bark forming contorted faces that watch you as you pass by. Many large eyes glint from between the branches, but disappear before you can approach them. Lightning flashes overhead, but it leaves a sickly green afterglow on the horizon. Shadowy shapes follow behind you and scurry across the meandering path ahead, always just out of sight. You turn a corner as a dozen shapes come charging down the path towards you. It looks to be a pack of wolves, but their forms shimmer and occasionally seem to overlap with one another.
So this forest isn't blue; it's mad.
Yeah, let's assume that they're real unless we find
Feel
out
at home.
otherwise.
All right, let me...
The
show
wolves
this.
kind of move together the way the fish did, or are they just sort of doing their own thing but kind of overlapping?
They're kind of overlapping and moving in and out. Do they move together? They seem different than the the illusion of the fish were definitely. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at one time.
Everybody take a mental note to talk to Old Stem about this. This just isn't what I would pay to go through.
That's a lot of wolves. That's a lot of wolves.
So, to describe it, does it look like one cloud, kind of a formless cloud of with multiple heads? Is that what it looks like?
No, it looks like it looks like a pack of wolves, but the oddity of the way that they move is such to where they kind of seem to move in and out amongst each other, as if instead of bouncing off each other, they kind of like move through each other, and they kind of shimmer back and forth. It's very strange. Their forms shimmer and occasionally seem to overlap. Is that a better imagery?
Okay. Yeah. Is the path still wide enough that we can be 2 by 2?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So if you guys want to just put yourself in, pointing that direction, that'll work. And how you want to. And then Gror was wanting to do something. Can you explain that a little bit more? What was it you were wanting to do there, Gror?
Just kind of patted Fleegan on the head,
Okay.
making sure he was okay.
Yeah, Fleegan, he pats you on the head. I don't know. Do you respond in any way?
Thanks.
Fleegan, give me a perception check, please. All right. Yeah, as he pats you on the head, his hand feels unbelievable. All right. Go ahead and roll initiative for me, please.
Oh my god! Worst set of initiative rolls ever.
Wolves, lots and lots and lots and lots of wolves.
I think I'll wait. Oh, hey, I'm still going before Kimber.
You can get a 2 on initiative? I didn't even know that was like...
Well, you rolled a nat 1, and you've only got a +1 initiative.
It happens. Lots of, we're seeing a lot of, those, I don't know, maybe these dice are weighted.
I rolled a nat 1 as well. Got a
Yeah.
+3.
Oh, well, we are in weird times, and we are in the, so we'll chalk it up to that, shall we? Fleegan,
Yeah.
lots of wolves, a whole pack of wolves are bearing down on you. What do you want to do?
I assume the path is big enough for all of us to get around, so we can have a straight.
Yeah, you can get
line.
her. You can
Let's
get around
kill them
if you
all,
want to.
Fleegan.
Yeah.
Stabby, stabby.
Yes, stabby this one.
I'm with Wolfheart.
Okay.
And nat 20's gone.
You go to stabby that one, and as you stab it, you're pretty sure that it would stick right in its side, and your hand just kind of goes inside of it. It's definitely not real.
Okay, guys, we got something strange here.
Okay. You do anything else?
Try stabbing with my offhand.
Okay. Same one.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Okay. All right. It actually jumps out of the way with that stab. So.
I don't
All right.
like these wolves.
So that wolf right there, it has kind of a weird look about it, and you can't quite place your finger on it. I want everybody to give me a group perception check, please. Everybody roll perception.
Okay. Not my best roll, but better than my initiative.
Okay. Well,
I didn't
that is
see
a
it. I think
good.
Kemper did.
That is a good group perception check. You guys have trained together. You have worked together. The reason that you guys are doing security together and that you're able to go in and massacre a whole bunch of big, nasty spiders together is because you guys work well together. So, because of that, your instincts as a group help you understand that there's definitely 12 wolves that you can see, but you recognize that they mimic each other's movement, and as you look and you survey together, you quickly communicate with each other that it's likely that this one and this one here, let me go ahead and tag them.
Please.
How should I tag them? I'll just tag them like this. This one, and this one. Well, I guess the better way of saying it is that there seems to be a copy of each one of the ones that I tagged the same way.
Got it.
So as
Some of
this
these
one
might be
moves and
real.
this one moves, there's others around it that are doing exactly the same thing at exactly the same time. So
Displacer wolves?
with that, this one right here tries to bite Kenna as the
No.
ones next to it do the same thing. And the others don't seem to connect, but they kind of come in and jump and do the same thing that it does, but it does actually not bite you.
Nope,
No.
I got a 17 base.
It does not. You were able to dance out of the way, and you recognize that they all tried to bite you.
Okay.
But they bit as if they were biting you, being like right here.
Yep.
All right, Gror.
Is the path wide enough? I can go either side of the front row. I'm not going to fall off the trail or anything weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Side to that one that's marked.
Oh, you know what? The others need to do something too. Sorry, I only had the
Yep.
one. These ones move over here. And Gror, you can go ahead and move back to where you're at. Sorry.
Stab, you mean?
Step back to where you were.
Go ahead and step back to where you were.
Okay, I see what you mean.
I'm going to move some of these guys around. I forgot that I need to move these guys here. All right, so this one goes to bite Kenna. This one right here goes to bite Kenna and misses as well. And the other three behind it do exactly the same motion. And then this one right here goes to bite Fleegan and is actually going to bite Fleegan. And again, they're not automatically damaged like them to, so I'll fix that.
Fleegan has like milk bone underwear on or something because all these animals.
Okay, Fleegan, 5 piercing damage from the bite.
I told you not to wear your pork chop.
It's all that bear meat we ate earlier.
You smell like bear. They're hungry. All right, Gror, now you can go ahead and take your turn. Sorry about that.
Do I have to do the DC
Attacking
saving
the one on
throw?
the right.
No, you don't actually. Like,
Sorry, accidentally bumped my character on top of.
that's right. All right, Gror, go. You natural 20. Wah, wah. Go ahead,
Wow!
Swipe.
roll on
Roll
the
that crit.
Oh, wow.
weapon crit table. All right. You feel it is imperative press the advantage, but maintain awareness of your surroundings. You can choose to gain advantage on all attacks, very similar to the same thing that Kenna had in the last round. So go ahead and roll your damage. All right. You do 14
Dang!
slashing damage to that one wolf, and
Nice.
as you move up to it
Max.
and you press the advantage and you take that critical swing, you lop its head right off, and blood, warm, wet, sticky blood splashes all over the front of your tunic as it hits the ground, and its head goes rolling in the strange dust of the ground of this mysterious forest.
Do the other wolves that were acting like it fall as well?
They
Yeah,
disappear.
did their heads pop off?
Got
They
it.
disappear.
It would be funnier though if their heads
That
fell
would
off
be
and rolled
funny,
away.
wouldn't it?
All their heads pop off. What the? Oh my god.
All right.
We'd have lots of wolf meat to take to the wagon, along with that bear.
And Badger.
Okay, Theros.
We're going to go for the real wolf that is marked right here.
Your guys' perception check made this a lot easier. That was a good perception check. That was a hard one. So, all right, Theros, you take a swing with your Graxel, and because there's really kind of 4 of them all in one, that means that there's 8 legs, and so Graxel actually is effective this time.
Actually, there's 16 legs. 'Cause
Nice.
They're four-legged.
And you take the Graxel, and similar to what Gror did, you just take it down right across the middle of its back, and you just cleave right through its spine, and kill it right to the ground, and the others around it
The axes think alike.
Well done, Gror. You showed me how to do it.
Pop, 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 pop.
You were actually supposed to do 1 more point of damage, really. But
All right, Kenna, you're up.
Yeah, gonna take some swings at this other one.
Okay.
Wakazashi in primary and the other. So
All right. She swings her blade around and
Wow.
a long sword and hits him
for 4.
for piercing damage. Stabs with it. I'm sorry.
Yep.
All
And
then
second
follow up
swing.
with Wakazashi. That is going to hit as well. How much damage?
Sweet. 6 more.
All right, 6 more damage. And as you stab both times with your weapons, there's quite a bit of blood coming out of it. It's kind of staggering. It's very bloodied at this point. So, Kember, there's a very bloody wolf standing in front of Kenna with you.
Take it down.
Yeah, I'll move up to that wolf. Go ahead and take it down.
Okay. All right, you smack it across the head with mace. Tell me how it dies.
The injured wolf turns and looks at its wound to possibly lick it, but then turns back up and sees Quimber move up as he smashes down into its maw, teeth flying, nose bent, blood splattering all over Kenna.
Yeah, and Kenna, it
Thanks.
just kind of drips off your face, and you have no, you have your instinct just reaches up and you just kind of wipe it from your face. What's your response?
Thank you, Quimber. As I wipe blood from both of my eyes and
At least it's not your own blood.
Sorry, sister.
And you guys successfully take the wolves, the scary pack of wolves, as you recognize most of them. So well done with that.
Owie over here could use a little help. Bite here and a bite there. I'm like 20 pounds lighter now.
Would you like a hug?
do you have that,
Use a
Quimber, or
hug.
do you need me to cast?
I mean,
Let
me give you a hug.
there.
Okay.
Let me give you a hug and see if that helps, Flea.
So
Especially because I'm covered in wolf blood.
I do cure wounds.
okay. So you go to pray to Kismia to heal him, and strangely, as you go through the motions, you seem to be compelled through a feeling from the spirit of Kismia that maybe at this point it may not be the best idea, and so you kind of hold back. Do you want to continue and go ahead and heal him, or you want to go with the feeling of your spirit?
Awkward.
Very awkward. Nothing like this has ever happened. Nothing like this has ever happened before, so it's kind of a strange feeling. But it is a strange place, too.
I stopped asking Kismia to heal my brother's wounds, and I stopped to examine them and start looking to bandage them instead and see if they're actually real.
Okay. Give me a medicine check, please.
Need the warrior to do that. We already learned that lesson.
Dwarf.
You examine his wounds, real enough to you, but as you bandage him up a little bit, seems to kind of help stop the scrapes and the punctures that he had. He doesn't regain any hit points from that, but he's not bleeding out anymore. And Fleegan, you actually feel like the pain seems to be lessened as a strange sensation flows as he kind of wraps your wounds and kind of looks at him. So they're definitely real, and he definitely is hurt. But
It must have been the mushrooms we got from earlier.
Shouldn't have poked him.
well, it wasn't a snake; it was wolves. So yes, you got to leave the mushrooms. I mean, didn't you guys learn your lesson the last time? That one night in the forest long ago.
Kenna did.
Experimenting as teenagers, right?
Oh,
Could just be
those
from eating the
mushrooms.
drunk, angry bear, too. You know.
Well,
That could be a little bit of effect. Where's that winterberry coral when you need it, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I think you're good, Fleegas.
Thanks.
Okay. So you guys want to head on?
Well, let us continue.
Yeah, continue. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, with adrenaline still coursing through your blood, you move further down the path and you shake your heads and you become vaguely aware that the environment has once again shifted. This time, appearing as a winding tunnel, the spindly white roots emerging from the dark walls are almost indistinguishable from the grasping branches of the trees behind you. As you proceed, they are gradually replaced by large crystals that emit soft blue, orange, and green light. It is not long before the tunnel opens into a wider cavern with what appears to be a shallow pool of water covering the entire floor. It glows with a bright blue hue, and at its center, a large purplish blue frog sits on a lily pad as it contentedly puffs on a pipe. The smoke rising from its pipe forms a purplish haze that fills the cave, and you can see strange swirls of eddies forming patterns in the otherwise still air.
Do I hear Hendrix?
Fliggin, stay close to me, just in case.
Yeah, I really need to start playing some of that right now. Believe it or not, the creature only half opens its eyelids. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
To see who has entered its cave.
Bloodshot, of course.
absolutely.
Absolutely. It looks to see who enters its cave as it's sitting there. Yeah, it croaks a greeting before closing its eyes again to relish the violet smoke swirling around the house. Beyond it, the cave narrows into a tunnel leading onward. What do you do?
Skirt the pond.
Can we get around the pond without getting wet?
No, the pond covers it. As you look at the picture, you'll notice there that it's kind of laying on a lily pad in the middle in the path in the cavern. There's you kind of have to climb the walls to get around.
Like a quick kind of, run on the angle, like a NASCAR corner kind of bank.
You could certainly try that. I would have you do a acrobatics check if you want to give that a try. Does Gror want to try and do a banking run along the curve of the wall to see if he can just kind of bound around without having to step in the water?
Before you do that, write 49 on your shirt.
What about athletics?
No, it would be acrobatics. Athletics is feats of strength, where you would be picking up and trying to move stuff. Acrobatics is more feats of dexterity and movement.
Yep.
I just had a better roll. I was just,
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I guess if no one else wants to try it first with a better.
Well, I'm gonna address the frog. I'm gonna pass.
Say that again. You cut out.
I'm gonna be like, "Hey, man, can we pass by?"
Okay.
We'll wait to hear the answer.
It lets out a little puff of smoke out of its mouth, and its eyes kind of slowly open back up, and you definitely do see that they're kind of rimmed in red. And it goes, "Bleh." And it blows out a little bit more smoke, and it closes its eyes, and it just kind of sways back and forth as it's saying such.
Okay, I'm not sure what he said, but do you want me to go first, Squirrel?
We could go on both sides, right?
Yeah,
Like
one on each side.
In the middle. So we might as well do that.
Okay,
I prefer the left.
I'll take the right.
Okay. Gror, since you said it, you get to go roll first. Kenna can roll second. All right, Gror. You guys kind of part to give him way for him to be able to run, and he takes a few steps back, and with his short, little, nimble legs, he is able to bound from one rock to the next rock. Puts his feet kind of up on a ledge that he sees just as getting there. Kind of bounces around a little bit, jumps over a rock, bounces to another point, runs up on over, and lands on the far side without getting a drop of him. And what do you do when you get there?
Well, he sticks the landing, of course.
Just a little leap over that last crystal and land with a bit of a flourish and say, "Come on already!"
Fleeky gives him a golf clap.
Fleegan, you feel something warm run down the... Okay. Kenna, go ahead and you... She did. Okay. So you go to do a similar thing, thinking that as you go around the other side, you could do as well, if not better than him. And you jump up on a rock, and then as you get about maybe a third of the way, the rock underneath you gives way and you stumble. And go ahead and give me another acrobatics check to see if you fall down into You do not fall prone into the water, but you actually slip down and step in the water, and you notice that it's only about 2 inches deep.
Oh,
And it just kind of splashes as you land in it, and you stand there, and nothing bad happens to you when you land in the water.
come on, guys. I'll just keep walking in through the water.
I'll just walk right through the water next to the frog.
All right. Frog is just kind of sitting there enjoying its pipe, swaying back and forth with that purple haze. He kind of almost sounds like it's purring underneath its breast as the sickly sweet, skunky smell of the smoke just kind of envelops you as you walk by. And go ahead, and I want Theros to give me a Constitution saving throw, please. All right.
Oh,
You get a good whiff of the smoke as you walk on by, and it doesn't make you feel weird, but it smells a little funky. Maybe I've smelled this kind of stuff before from some of the other towny teenagers. They were off smoking, especially in the trees nearby, and you knew that it was something that might make you feel a little lightheaded and a little. So Frog seems to be enjoying it pretty well. All right, and the tunnel leads on. Do you head on down the?
I dare someone take the pipe from the frog. Take the pipe.
I already have 5 pipes.
We found a towny teenager, guys.
Do we need to save them?
Does there need to be a princess to come and kiss it?
No.
All right. What are you guys gonna do? You gonna head on, or is somebody gonna try and take the pipe?
No.
It's just an illusion, anyways.
Let's keep going. No need to make a
Yep.
All right.
sky-high frog unhappy.
Plus, you could probably eat me, so I'd rather not.
All right. Well, you guys continue down the cave, leaving the cave behind as you continue down the meandering stone. You finally emerge from the tunnel to find an astonishing sight for you. It seems as if someone painted a huge, colorful masterpiece all about you. 3 large, bright moons hang in the sky behind banks of silvery clouds. The sky burns with the brilliant red, orange, and green light of the approaching sun. I'm going to change the music here.
So you said
I
they
think-
painted a masterpiece all about me. I hope they got my good side.
think-
All
Right.
around you,
Lights
you
are
idiot.
purple.
Psh.
The path you've been following leads to the edge of a gleaming pink and purple lake, where it continues to the horizon, a line of stepping stones across the water. Flocks of birds soar through the sky, and a silver-scaled fish leaps across the path. In the far distance, you see a massive, serpentine-shaped arc out of the water before crashing back into the depths. As ever, the only way forward is the path of stepping stones through the water.
Pretty sure we're not going to be able to go.
What do y'all do?
I'll take the lead.
Okay, so go ahead and put yourselves in order there, and this would have to be single file.
I don't think Flugan should go last.
Yeah, bring Fleegan in.
All right, as you hop from stone to stone for quite some distance, though you might worry about falling off, the stones are wide, flat, and they seem sturdily anchored into the water below, which makes traveling across them quite easy. However, as you approach the midpoint of the lake, with the opposite shore only barely visible in the distance, the colossal neck of a towering sea worm bursts from the lake's tranquil surface. Before you can react, its cavernous maw surges towards you with a deafening roar. And in an instant, you are engulfed by its enormous jaws as it gulps down your entire party in one swallow.
And I thought I had a big mouth.
Okay, game over. It was fun. See you guys later.
Whew. Glad we got this done in 6 sessions.
Are you kidding me? Kenna's going to keep going in the same direction, so it's not going to be happy when I get to the other end.
Ooh, slash as you go. Yeah. All right. well,
Theros, I hope we don't have to fight this thing because there's no leg.
I might actually take out the rest of our party
Shay.
just by fumbles.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, actually, you slide down the slick sides of its throat without any way to slow your descent. You ready yourselves for the inevitable splash into the caustic acid when you reach the bottom. But instead, you land feet first on a dry gizzard. The red musculature of the organs forms something of a small room. And believe it or not, on the far side, appearing ridiculously out of place, are the flaps of the tent exit.
Okay.
I would like to look around and see if anybody dropped their money or coins in the fear of being eaten.
Give
and
me an
see if there's anything on the
investigation.
ground.
Give me an investigation check, please.
Fleegan.
Does Fleegan's wounds disappear?
No, they do not. So, Fleegan, you look around to see if there's any coins. And no, there are not. And the flaps of the tent are kind of blowing the breeze a little bit as the sweet air from outside seems to beckon you forward.
Is there anything else in the gizzard? Bones? Debris?
No, it's actually dry. Seems to be clean. The interesting, you do feel like you're probably inside the belly of a great beast. But no bones, no flesh, nothing that seems to be partially digested or anything like that.
Huh.
Or gets angry and starts stomping off over towards the tent flaps.
Okay, the ground is, it's not, wet by any means or something like that, but it's kind of soft and malleable as you stomp, and it just kind of goes as you stomp off towards the flaps of the tent, and you take a peek outside as you go, and you see a group of people, including Chelsea and Stoof, and then a couple of the others, actually Vestia and Skizig, are out there as well.
Okay, step outside. Step up to them.
Okay. All right, so y'all gonna head on outside?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so
Yeah, there's no money down here.
that's Vestia and Skizig. Okay, those are the two illusionists. As you finally exit the tent, you find that they have, Vestia and Skizig have finished their show and are anxiously waiting for you to emerge. And Vestia says, "By Jinx's jingling bells!" Well, that's interesting. Oh, I'd wager my first spellbook that the fine folk from Nevermore are responsible for turning those beasts loose in there. Obviously referring to the things that you guys fought. And Skizig raises an eyebrow. He says, maybe it could have been Zanny. He loves a prank like this. But Vest just shakes her head and she says, he may have a taste for inappropriate tricks, but he would never put someone in real danger. I can promise it wasn't one of ours. She
Yes,
looks
I'm
at
not
you all with a genuine smile. It's a good thing we have such capable security, or someone might have been seriously hurt. Oh, it looks
Right
it looks
here.
as if maybe
Right
yes.
here.
Oh,
Fleegan
Fleegan.
was.
Seriously hurt. Right
gets-
here.
She gets a very concerned look on her, and she moves over to you, and she reaches over to her belt, and she actually pulls a red vial, a vial with red liquid out, hands it to you as you notice it. Healing potion. And here, drink this. You need this. So that is 2d4 plus 2 healing as you drink it down. She says it's with a genuine smile also as she looks potion to Fleegan. It's a good thing we have such capable security, or someone might have been seriously. Which she already said. Yes, she said it again. You've all behaved admirably, but it won't do to have you courageous at his work walking through the carnival in such a state. And so, yeah, she gave Fleegan one of those. She'll give
Theros could
Kimber
use
one and Theros one.
Is Glor still covered in blood?
Not so much, no. Maybe dried a little.
So can I save mine?
Still inappropriate to be walking around a carnival like a slaughterhouse technician?
Yeah.
Kimber, you can choose to take a and she'll give you a draught of it, so you can choose to take a draught, but you can't keep it for.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So, all right.
Yes, there were 2 badgers and 3 wolves clear out there. But
Well, we knew
anyone else
something.
goes
We knew
through it.
something was seriously wrong in there once we finished with our show, and we came to see, but we couldn't get inside to see what was going on. And we figured you would make it out, and we were so thankful that you were able to take them. And we don't know how they or what happened that they got in there, but it's wonderful that you were all able to take care of that for us. Thank you so much.
Of course, Vestia.
And Skizig, he kind of looks at all of you and says, "Here, sit, rest for a moment, friends. We should take get your strength back. Have a drink here for a draught of the potions here, and it looks like already healing a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about your day and today and what's been."
Do we see any other townies around that were like, kind of watching the tent flaps or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Most especially Worcester or Ned.
You're specific. Okay, so you're specifically looking to see if any, kind of watching to see what has happened.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah,
intent.
anyone suspicious?
Suspicious. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
And,
mainly down.
yeah. Anybody more? Is it just that or? Any,
Oh, I'm keeping
I'll
an
look
eye out
around.
for acolytes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and give Gore a perception check with advantage on that
Cool.
one. As you those who said they wanted to kind of scan the crowd. There's a lot of lookers on, and they were interested and kind of half listening to what it was that you were talking about with Vestia and Skizig. And nobody really seems to look suspicious as much as being townies. They were surprised and kind of interested and impressed on as the goings on. But nobody stands out to you as being suspicious as it is.
The 3 losers aren't around?
No, you don't happen to see them any around. And so as you were all sitting there,
Do we have the opportunity to clean up a little bit? I am
yeah,
caked in blood.
yes.
Can I
Yes,
describe them to Vestia and Skizig and see if they saw them in the show?
Sure. So you're going to describe Worston and Ned and Big, or Jen and Big Ned. Is that who you're talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We call them the losers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Izig kind of laughs and he chuckles a little bit as you name them as the losers. He says, "Yes, I've dealt with them. They came into the magic show just the other day. Though I have not seen them today, I would probably um, put that down as the fact that you summarily embarrassed them. But they came into the magic show just the other day, and they proceeded to kind of mock and jeer as we were putting on our show, and it was quite distracting and somewhat frustrating. And but it was a good time because I gave a look at Vestia as going, had a knowing understanding of what to do. Well, without them knowing, they, somewhat buffoonish as they are, um, played a few little pranks on them that embarrassed them quite handsomely. They quickly left, shall we say, with their pants around their legs, showing a little skin as people enjoyed the show mightily. And but I did hear Worston say something about we would pay for this insolence, and I just laughed. They're no match for us.
He has said that a lot.
Yes, we should keep an eye out. They've been here. They've been making trouble recently, and we should keep an eye for them. I think we've done a few
Agreed.
things to embarrass them, and I would watch your back. But interesting, it's that it just made me think of something. That kind of word is going around that people have been going missing on the road between here and Pronendal. You know, we're heading that way. I suppose we best be careful. It's rumored that a whole family from Nevermore just disappeared without a trace, which is quite strange. And
We should investigate that. I don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well,
We did free a gentleman that was caught traveling in these area.
Yes.
Furniture salesman. Interesting.
Really, that is quite interesting. That's just she kind of smiles. She looks at you and she says, "Oh, yes, Kalnassi came to visit a little while ago, and she told us that you guys came in contact with some spiders and how you did some wonderful things, and that doesn't surprise me as well as it seems you handled the creatures that were put into our tent over here. So you were all quite marvelous today. But you know, I also heard some townies talking about some lord of Nevermore named what was his name? Oh, Herwin or Herlin or something like that. I'm not sure what it was again, but they said he was trying to buy up all of the land around these parts, and he seems to think he's not above doing things to get folk to move if they won't sell. You know, and I don't. Maybe there's something to do with the disappearance in that. And I also heard some townies talking about Nevermore, and they said there's some kind of dark secret that's been kept in the town by the town leaders. Last thing they said was that the town has a curse, and I know it's a night of dark omens coming up tonight, but I don't know. It's not been too strange to this point, but today just has an to it, does it not?
It has been.
Been a very odd day. For many.
Yeah, Yeah, normally I don't get attacked by a bear and snakes,
Find
spiders,
spiders,
Wolves,
drunk
badger.
people. Well, okay, drunk people all the time, but you know what I mean.
drunk bears.
Even
Drunk bears is a new one.
Even Cray was uneasy, for he had been seeing people travel around outside, staying in the darkness.
Yes. Cray talked to me about it at night, and he and I have kind of trolled, and I don't. Maybe it is those three things. I don't know. But, that's a good thought. We need to keep an eye out this evening.
There were some acolytes that were very crass with Mother and refused to pay her. Were they at your show? Could they have possibly been up to something?
I've seen no acolytes at my show. No, not. They don't just typically come into our shows. Spend more time denouncing the evil and wickedness of our women.
Yes.
And, really patronizing. But it is just the way of things, and it is good. Oh, look at the time. It's the event of the beasts is about to happen in the tall tent, and people are moving that direction. And we need to get ready for our next show, and maybe go into the illusion tent, see if there's anything that we need to clean up. Now that you've cleaned it out for us, but
Yeah,
Vestia-
two badgers and 3 wolves.
Yes, well, we'll get those cleaned up and taken care of. Oh, did you like the serpent? It's a wonderful one. We love that one. We came up with that one just the other day, and just got it installed today. And was quite spectacular, was it not?
Yes, but
Quite
the odd
the
little frog was interesting.
Odd.
Yes, the pipe smoking frog.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. You said a pipe smoking frog.
Yes.
I'm not sure that was anything of our doing. Maybe we should go in and get that taken care of. And
Yes, probably if
I
that's
think-
not one of yours.
If you can cancel the illusion, you might find yourself one of the towny teenagers in there.
What about wolves? I'm covered in wolf blood or whatever this really is.
They
the
look it
wolves
over you and they
normally
say,
do
"Oh,
that."
here," and they hand you a damp rag and encourage you to clean that up. Oh, before we go, I just remembered.
Yes.
And, Vestia looks over at Kenna and smiles at her.
Mm-hmm.
Says, she says, Skizzik and I have been meaning to give this to you. We're proud of how you've excelled in your studies, and may your mastery of the Everflow continue to grow, my young friend. And she hands you a ring. She puts it in the palm of her hand. And it is a very special ring that you might find useful.
My.
And with that, they head off into the illusion tent to kind of get things cleaned
Thank you.
up. And she says, "Yes, you are quite welcome. You've proved yourselves quite worthy today. May it come in handy down the road." And they head off into the illusion tent to take care of things and get it cleaned up.
Man, you're getting all the jewelry, man.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
that. You're the one who keeps getting all.
3, isn't it? Oh.
But all
That's
right.
2 rings, so
You can still get 8 more. Don't worry.
Got a ring. Yeah.
ring
Be
on every
careful.
finger and toe.
Be careful about having 8s with that Graxel swinging around you. You never know what might happen. All right. What do you guys want to do here?
We get all
You
close
think?
to sunset or anything yet? Like, what time
No,
is it
it's mid-afternoon at this point.
Do we think that they might need some extra security in the tall tent with their big event, or is that usually taken care
I'm
You guys are security, so if
yeah.
with a lot of people that are the main event. The main event is Miga and Trenu, the Manticore and the Owlbear, and that's starting here shortly, according to the.
We should be
according to the
there
time.
with the things that are going on. I don't
agree.
trust that somebody won't try something or do something to cause an issue with them.
Quick question.
Plus, there might
When
be
does Carnival usually? When do we usually shut down Carnival?
Late in the evening, late at night. I'm sorry, around 12 bells. There's a spectacular fireworks show that goes off right at about 12 bells, because the gambling goes late into the night and the other things. So
Okay.
it's still kind of later after.
So we still have
Probably
lots
about-
of Carnival left.
It's probably about, when I say 12 bells, I'm sorry, 24 bells. It's about 16 bells right now. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
Maybe we should go around the
sun
tent
goes
and
down.
check
Sun
it out.
probably goes down around 6-ish, something like that. Grower, say that again. I'm sorry.
Maybe we should walk all the way around the tall tent and check it out and see if maybe we want to position anybody outside too.
Not a bad option.
While you guys are discussing this, an interesting figure comes over to you guys to speak with you for. So, the man, he is gray, almost stormy feature, odd starburst tattoo on his forehead, approaches you. You know that the carnival attracts a rough crowd, and the Hanatas are tough enough to manage it. But you can all tell immediately that the man is likely not one to be trifled with. As
Is that
he
a
approaches,
normal complexion color for someone to have?
no,
Is he that tall? Or
he is a bit tall, yeah. And you also notice as he approaches that he actually blended into the crowd quite effortlessly. It just kind of appeared and disappeared easily, but you guys saw him as he was coming because his attention was directed towards you. He is striking looking and rather intimidating. Although not openly carrying any blades, his cloak could be hiding anything, and he carries himself in a way that suggests he could make anything into a lethal weapon if he wanted to. Intimidating is the right term on that. And he comes up to you and he looks at you all and he says, You patrol this place. Are you aware of the presence of someone known as Jayana? Or perhaps is Ira Zur?
I have not heard that name, sir, either.
And he kind of looks at all. He looks and ignores the rest of you inquisitively.
What does she look like?
She has many looks about her. She has different aliases. Last she looked she had disguised herself as a middle-aged woman with a bit of a hunched over walk to her. But we've known that to change. Anybody else? Has anybody seen her?
What she's done?
Oh, that's really not anything of yours. Just wondering if you've seen it. I'm surprised you've not. That is most unfortunate, not unexpected. Well, you're doing security, so do what you need. Continue around. I shall remain here, and should any word come to you of this person, do not concern yourself with seeking it. I will find you.
Okay.
All
course.
right, you're a weird one.
He just kind of stands there and kind of looks at you. crosses his arms and just kind of.
Does he look like he's blood touched, not like a specific race?
He very well could be blood touched, considering he's got kind of an odd color to his skin. Go ahead and give me a history check.
History, okay.
Yeah, as far as being a blood touch, if he would be, and you kind of feel like he might be, you wouldn't have any idea whatsoever what that touch could be. Anybody else going to talk with him or ask him?
He doesn't look Grindish.
He does not look horrendous. No, he's not too big. He's not that big.
He's not that big,
tall.
okay.
He's tall, but he's not.
Okay.
Not half giant tall, Garundish tall.
Yeah, he's not 9
Garoond.
feet tall. Got it.
So Garoond are very tall, very large humanoids in this world, and they're bluish, grayish blue.
I've been reading.
Yeah. Who are you, and why are you asking these questions? Are you like with the local constant, the police?
And he kind of cuts you off, and he says, "I am Tatus Sid, supplicant of the community of the unseen star, and young man, my business is my own." And he just kind of looks over the top.
Does that organization mean anything to me?
Go ahead and give me a history check.
Another history check. I'm so good at this. Yeah, no.
No, you've never heard of
Doubled it.
Did he say why he was looking for the woman? I might have missed that.
He said his business was his.
I meant when he was
won't
describing it. He didn't mention it. Okay.
He did not mention it. No.
Yeah, your status of the whatchamacalls of the who's that once it's like what?
So you say that she changes her look. How does she do so? Does she use magic to do so?
Or
I don't believe she does.
is she just an
has the
expert at
ability
disguise?
Yes, she has the ability to change her look and disguise. I believe she has the ability for magic, knowing the things that's gone and such. No, I just, I would say, move along, you do what you're doing. I don't want to take you from your duties. And instead, if you find out more information about her, certainly let me know. I will be here.
What has she done?
I will know.
What might she do here?
That is none of your concern.
Is she a danger to us? Or any of the parishioners?
I don't believe she would be. Just if you happen to see her, let me know. And move along. In fact, I think I will head on. No, and he just brushes you off. He's rude but direct, and just kind of moves on his way at this point. Ignores the rest of your question.
Away from the tall tent.
Man, we are bringing in.
Strange.
All kinds of weirdness.
Yeah, some
He's
people
like
are affected
leaving
by
the main
alcohol
area?
differently.
Yeah, he's not leaving them, and he heads off. I would say around this upper part of the tent of illusions there.
What I'm worried about is he knows us, and we don't have to call for him. And so if we do find this, what's your name, he'll know.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. Yeah.
I don't think we need to
I
be
don't think you've seen
concerned
that
with
bright, Fleegan.
Maybe he got into the bad drink.
Let's do a perimeter of the tall tent
I'll
and
say.
then go inside.
I will stay by the front entrance as you guys do the perimeter. Holler, scream if you need anything.
You're just afraid of the puppet show, right?
Of course. And the clowns.
I will do my
Wait.
best to avoid Smidley.
The puppet show's the best part of the carnival. Come on, guys.
Okay, so
Just
you
because
guys,
you're an attraction part of it.
so you guys head around the tall tent in various ways, and then you can back over in front of it. Is that what the plan is?
Yes. We can take two on
circle,
each
and that-
side.
And maybe we see something that, like, we should stand or guard by, like leave somebody in certain places.
Okay, you guys doing that?
If we
Yes,
see
and
anything
keep
odd or
in-
suspicious, yeah.
Yeah, and keep an eye out for acolytes.
Okay.
Pirate chicks and dwarf ladies and
Anybody keeping an eye out for
At
perception?
For
this
who?
point, I don't care if it's the acolytes or any acolytes.
Anybody keeping an eye out for anything? Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh, Quember is really worried. Strangeness going on.
Nat 20.
Kenna sees everything.
I see the entire.
So does
Quember.
Kimber.
Sees everything.
So a couple of things. One, look at acolytes or anybody doing deeds. You don't happen to see that any of you around through the area looking a blue sailor-ish, a short maroon woman who is quite attractive. Don't seem to see her either. No. One moment here. Find this. Kenna, I'm gonna send you something here. Hang on just a second.
Kadoke.
Manage a few things, guys. You're talking amongst yourself. Just a second here.
Ken is really worried about what's going on here, so. Because there's definitely something up.
And Kimber as you round kind of back towards the long line of people that are getting ready to pass into the tall tent, you notice several smaller shapes weaving their way between the legs of those in line towards the front. Yet too late, you recognize them as the annoying kids that have been causing trouble at Carnival since you set the tents up. Something I haven't talked to you about in the past, but you remember. And with a cry of "Dragon Punchers rule!" the two leaders, their names are Cleva and Harold, each toss a smoke bomb into the tent. Shouts of surprise erupt inside, though you can tell many assume the smoke as the start of the next act. Okay, so a couple of teenage misfits named Cleva and Harold, part of a group of teenage gang, as it were, called the Dragon Punchers, just threw some smoke bombs into the tall tent. Let me describe the tall tent to you. The tall tent is the centerpiece of the Blue Veils Carnival. This is where the high mystiques are performed, and in the center of the pavilion, Vestia and Skizzik will bring forth the greatest of the Hanata's illusion magics, while Selvra and her beasts will exhibit their most impressive feats. Elenos and Sevra and Mevia will dance a full circle of magical movement in the Alis Afrese, and the champions from the arena around Nevermore engage in contests of strength and skill at arms in the main ring with Borag, Kalnassi, Cray, and others. The tent itself is a magical device that has been passed down from generation to generation in the Blue Veil. And with just a word, Borag, Kalnassi, or one of the other leaders can raise the tent from a modest canvas bag in which it is stored. The tent is large enough to seat nearly 400 people comfortably, and 500 or more if the carnival attendance requires standing room only for so it's big and majestic.
Being stationed near the...
Say that again, you cut out.
Sorry, being stationed at the front while everyone else was going around the tent, do I think that we're looking at a standing room right now?
Yes, because the main event of the Miga and Chernuv is going to begin here shortly, and people love to see the massive owlbear and the huge manticore as they do their thing. So yeah, the tent is probably going to be packed standing room, and then of course the gang of troublesome teenagers decided to throw a couple of smoke bombs in as a joke.
Can we grab them? Are they coming at us like on our way out?
Indeed, you can probably try. So I wanted to, I mean, all these things are happening all at the same time, and there's actually something else that happened as you guys, because you guys kind of split up and you walked around to patrol the tent, and so these various things were going on. The other thing is what was it? Gror, actually, as he was passing around the backside of the tent, kicked something in the grass and looked down, and apparently someone wealthy dropped their coin purse. But hey, how fortunate for you! You find a small pouch on the ground that's full of some coins. You find 5 golds, 7 silvers inside of it. Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. Good bit of money there. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
I got it.
Wonder who we should give it to, though. That was a trick question.
All right, so go ahead and position yourselves back around the front of the tent, where you think you might be as you come out of the tent. Okay, so at this point, like I said, Kember saw the gang, and so did Kenna. Saw the gang go ahead and throw a couple of smoke bombs in the tent, and as they kind of blow out and smoke starts to billow out and cough from the stench of them, you kind of see them try and dart off and hide amongst the crowd. What do you guys do?
Kenna seems a little out of sorts and out of focus, and doesn't seem to respond right away.
Okay. All right, Kember.
Was a 17 enough to see that how many they threw at least? Or
yeah, 17 was enough to, and actually 17 got you the pouch of money. That was the perception on your end.
Okay, I was just wondering if we know how many they threw inside. I don't know if we know that.
I think Kember would have seen that they threw a couple of them inside.
Eros, Kenna, we need to grab these kids before they start more trouble.
Okay.
What?
Grab these kids.
Oh.
I'll try to reach out and grab one or both if they're both within reach.
Okay. Cleva, the girl, tries to by you. The other one, Harold, is not near you, Theros. He's actually over near Kember. On the other side. Well, actually, he's probably over towards Fleet, to tell you the truth. So Theros, yeah, you can go ahead and try and grab Cleva. Go ahead and give me a athletics check, please. All right. You reach out to grab her, and just as you think you're going to grab her, she slips through your grasp, but then trips, and you're able to trip her up, and she falls to the ground at your feet. Fleegan, were you going to try and grab the other boy?
Oh yeah.
I'll
Okay,
chase
go ahead
him
and
if
give
I
me-
can.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check. Yeah, Fleegan expertly kind of feints that he's not paying attention to what's going on. And as Harold runs on by, he just kind of reaches out and of his shirt holds on tight and stops him in his tracks. And he's got this comedic running in place sort of pose while Fleegan's got a hold.
It's all about these guns, boys.
The short, the short one seems to be a lot more out and anchored to the ground with his center of gravity and just holds on to him well.
Again, only 2 legs.
What do you guys do now that you have apprehended?
I would suggest that we take them to the town. There.
Take
We
them
also
to
need to
who?
get the smoke bombs out of the tent.
The town guards at the gate.
Okay. All right. So a couple of you want to take them to the town guards. Will a couple of you try and get the smoke and smoke bombs out of there?
Yeah, those who grabbed them,
Oh,
go ahead and
the
take
smoke
them.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take them up front.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
rest
that's-
of us will-
Because he might need backup.
and the rest of us will clear out the smoke bombs.
Okay. All right. So you guys,
Well, they thought it was part of the show, anyways.
some thought it was part of the show. Some kind of go. It doesn't seem to cause as much of a panic as you would expect, especially because you guys immediately apprehend and I would assume kind of tell everybody, no, we got this in hand. This is just a prank, and no need to panic. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
And so the crowd kind of anybody that was starting to get a little nervous about what was going on settles down and move on. As they file into the tent, and you guys kind of open some of the flaps of the tents to kind of air it out a bit, so the smoke can come out. And some of the townies actually are appreciative, and they pat you on the back and give you some thanks and nods of admiration. And others seem indifferent, and others still are like, Shh, they deserve it. These people. If it wasn't for their entertainment, it would have no them. And you hear statements like, there's still a lot of prejudice that obviously goes on that you're used to in your life. But you take the teenagers over to the town guard near the entrance, and what do you say to the town guard? Who is it? Who take them over there?
I think it was me and Fleegan.
Yep.
I'll
You want to
just
do
toss
the talking?
the 2 kids down. These troublemakers are causing panic in the carnival. You should escort them home.
They could hurt people. It's bad. Bad for business.
One of the town's guards just kind of sits there and gets a little bit of a smirk on his face while another town guard comes over and actually reaches down and grabs Harold by the scruff of the hair that's right behind ear
Ouch!
and grabs onto that and kind of pulls him back up to his feet. Doesn't pull him up to his feet with the force of that, but as he just grabs that bit of his hair and tugs on it, it doesn't feel very good. And so the kid stands up and he's like, I've had about enough of this, son. I'm so sick of this. You need to go
Dang.
to your mother. And he just lights him up. So Dad is not happy. And the other one just kind of smiles and looks down at and says, yes, this will be taken care of. And he doesn't seem to be upset. He doesn't seem to be happy. But he's not even really that impressed that you would is his response to the situation. Well, the father of the other is obviously disciplining the son. So
Works for
Thank
me.
you very much, guys.
Good enough.
yeah, they don't
Head
even really
back.
respond to that statement.
Nice.
So All right,
We
so
try to
you've
be
all.
nice and see what happens.
Hmm. Yeah, you guys are kind of used to that. It happens more often than not. So,
Do
all
we
right,
do
so-
we take him sincerely, or do we think that maybe he was testing us? The guard, the father. Seems sincere.
Were you with them, Kimber, or were you?
Oh, I would have assumed I followed to make sure the kids couldn't got away.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Kimber.
So I guess it's me and Gror getting those tent.
Yeah, you guys are doing the hard work.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Kimber,
that's what I was
you were
trying to
you were trying to. No, you know what? Make that an insight. Just scrub that roll and make that an insight. Okay. All right. So, say what was it again? You were trying to find out.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of strange that the kid here that's starting trouble with us is one of the guards' kids. And, you know, I mean, it may be insincere, but I'm thinking there may be a little bit more to this. Like maybe we were being tested or something like that. I'm just not trusting the situation.
Yeah. You're feeling the whole situation. Not one that leads you to believe one way or the other, but you kind of feel like they definitely don't seem to care about you all in this situation. Dad probably cared the son got caught being a goon, and the other one didn't really even see what happened, just that, okay, well, this has happened, whoop-de-doo. You know, that's the impression that you get. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so next time we
What
catch
happened to the
him,
other
we're
kid?
gonna have to clean out our livestock pens instead.
Gror, you were asking what happened to the other kid.
The non, child of a guard.
Well, they just kind of threw her at the ground of the other, and he just kind of looked at her, and she got up and kind of sheepishly walked away down towards town. So that's what happened with her. All right. Any other questions about that? What do you guys want to do?
I think if we just scatter on the inside, I mean, if anything goes wrong there and can react to it.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody kind of files in and inside. You see that the event with Megan Trenu beginning, and Selvra's standing there with the two beasts on either side of the ring, holding out a couple of large hoops and motions, and they both jump through both hoops simultaneously, to the great delight of the crowd, to cheers and smiles as the show begins.
Legan will clap along with the crowd.
Okay.
I will look around and look for anything suspicious.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
I'm going to station myself at the back of the tent where I put me.
Okay. All right. I'll address that perception check, Theros, in just a moment. Crowd, what are you doing? Gror, are you doing anything? No, he's over there.
That should give us a good coverage.
Okay. Gror, your mic is muted if you're...
Yeah, no, I was chewing.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Standing over there, you do anything in particular?
I'm just scanning the crowd, looking for anybody else that we've seen today at all to note who's here.
Give me a perception check then, Kimber.
Same. Oh, sorry.
Okay. You give me a perception then, too. Okay. All right. So you guys watch the show, and you're kind of looking around, and you guys are your senses are very heightened. Yeah. Wow.
Jeez, Kimber.
Jeez, Kimber. That's like
Kimber
220s in a row.
sees everything.
Yeah, and all both on perception test. Gee.
Yeah, he sees a lot, doesn't he? So you guys are watching the show, and as you're enjoying and watching the show, you see lots of exciting things happen where Selvra, we talked about the hoops that they jump through. Trenuve, the manticore, flaps its great leathery wings and slightly lifts off the ground to the gasps of the crowd, and the creatures are an amazing sight as they do their tricks. Selvra will invite up some children to the surprise and somewhat nervous looks of the parents as the kids come up, but then the owl bear reaches down and gives one a hug, and it's nice and soft, and the kids just smile, and they allow another to get up on the back of Trenuve and run around. They can give them a scratch, and they can enjoy when the two of them get into a mock battle as they fight each other, and then one, as you've seen many falls to the ground in combat, while the worried children look on as they are worried what might have happened to the great beast, because they're not scary. They're actually quite spectacular, and they're cuddly, and they're soft, and they're exciting, and the children just absolutely love them. And there's great applause, thunderous applause from the crowd. As all of this is going on, you see people that you've recognized from the day, but not necessarily people that you've interacted with, whether it be the acolytes, who knows where they're at right now, but they're not enjoying the show in the tent. They're probably berating somebody in the gambling tents or something, as far as you know. At this point, any of the townies that were following up Ona the blacksmith as she was accosting Mother Salvenza, you don't even really recognize any of them either. So the couple that you met over in Sellers Row that kind of got really weirded out by Fleegan are sitting over in one side over here, enjoying the show. But other than that, nothing. But as you're scanning the crowd, I think every single one of you notices that red-crowned hawk up in the rafters, and it's looking at you all with bright red eyes. And you almost get the feeling that it's following you, and that it flies off through a hole in the tent.
We really should have that fixed.
Yeah, we should definitely fix that.
I don't think it's dangerous or threatening to us at all.
Darius, I saw it that time. Is that what you saw?
Yes, that's that big bird.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Bird's yellow, though.
It's actually red. Were you eating green? Were you eating yellow cheese? Is that what you thought was yellow?
No, I meant like Big Bird from Sesame Street.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, I don't know. There was something just makes me think about cheese. What is it about cheese? Or are you enjoying cheese? Are you liking cheese?
That's what I was cheering.
He was eating some cheese. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Yeah, and so as the show comes to an end, great thunderous round of applause. Selvra goes and brings the beasts around, and she bows before the crowd, and they give out one mighty flourishing roar and to the light of the crowd and the children. She takes and ushers them back towards the back area of the tent, past Kenna and Silver kind of stops and smiles at you. And greetings, my dear. How are we doing this day? And if I haven't shown you a picture of Silver, I will. Go find her real quick.
I tell her, I'm like, well, it's been an odd one. We've had several brawls and some wild animals get into the area, and several people who are not happy with us here, but that's more common than not.
No. Well, it has been an interesting. It has. While I was tending to the beasts not too long ago, I got to enjoy the show that you all put on over at the stage. It was quite spectacular. Yes, it was.
Yes, well, crowd pleaser, I guess.
Have you? And she says, I'm curious. Have you seen Mother Salvenza today? She's been really tired these last few weeks. I hope she isn't sick.
I hope not. Earlier, and had a vision come over her when some people were accosting her about her being a fraud.
Yeah, vision. She's meant to do that. I've actually seen her do that kind of stuff before too. But there were some people who were accosting her.
Yes, blacksmith.
Oh,
Husband was told.
Things.
Yeah.
It makes me sick. It makes me sick when the people do that, and sometimes it gives me nightmares to think that they may come after. And she's just tending to the beasts. She's kind of wrapping their feet up in some tape to kind of help them from slipping around on things. She's like, "Oh, I was just thinking about nightmares." And I was just remembering little Vezi woke up screaming last night. It was some kind of a nightmare.
Really?
Yeah, she said she was caught afire in some scary burning. But she said it weren't no fire. She said it was some kind of bad thing. And Mother Salvenza asked her if she asked to see her this morning as soon as she woke up. They must have taken for an hour or so. Might be just me, but when they came out of the wagon, Mother actually looked kind of scared. It's very, very odd.
Yes, others have been having visions and waking nightmares.
Really? You don't say.
Yeah, I glance over.
You might want to say that again. I think that could help.
Oh, sorry.
We didn't hear who you glanced over
The
to.
camp
Didn't
burning.
catch it that time either.
Oh, doggone it.
Say it again.
After glancing at Fleegan, I tell her others have seen the tents afire as well.
Wow, Fleegan. And she gets this very quizzical look on her face, and she looks at you and she looks at Fleegan. And she just kind of stares at him. And she looks back at you. Do you say he sees?
At least a couple of times he's said seen the tents burning.
He needs to go talk to Mother about that.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to do when she had her needed to rest. We should make another attempt, I believe.
Yeah, no, I think that might be a good idea. I'm a little bit concerned about it. It's strange, but
Yes.
well, tonight's Dark Tide's Eve. But putting out the lantern soul set. About you, but I'm scared. I heard Bran talking to Mother the other day, and he's thinking about prophecy. Year of fears? That we weren't ready? What do you think that means?
I don't know. I don't know what it means, but I think it may be dark tidings for us in the future, in the near future.
Oh, I sure hope. I sure hope not. We've got trouble as it is now already. I heard the constable never was blaming us for that missing Sedestian they were looking for the other day. You know, he disappeared when he went to do his business outside the gambling tents a while back. No, I think his name was Serdama or something like that.
Yes, we found him. He
You what? You found him?
yes, he left earlier this morning on his way back to town.
Oh wow! Where was he? Was he okay?
He was in the bottom of a well that had been partially broken into, and he was captured by a group of spider-like creatures.
Wow!
We slew them and brought him back with.
Wow! Oh,
He's
well,
a
I'm so glad that you found him. Yeah.
Furniture dealer or something.
Yes, no, I had heard that. Oh, I'm so glad that you found him. I had thought about that. His story kind of caught my attention, and I was more worried about the fact that the constable was trying to blame us for that. But so glad that you found him. I bet you that made things even better for us. The fact that you guys recovered him.
Well,
Somebody
we
else?
can hope so.
Wow. Oh, well, I'm so good. Well, I must be moving on. They're going to be setting up for the next event in the tall tent here, but I think I hear that there's the other youngsters that are looking after the other friend of them. Maybe you could go spare them a break or something like that. As we were coming in, it looked like they had their hands full with children, and they were looking a little. They were looking a little shell shocked, but I need to move on and go feed Miga and Trenuv. They work up quite an appetite after their show.
Yes, keep an eye on them. Let us know if you see anyone suspicious near.
Oh, I will. It's good talking to you all. Be careful of those visions. I go talk to Mother about it. And
Yes.
with that, she goes ahead and leads me and Trenu back out the back of the tent. They're back. Their pins. So,
Yeah, Fleegan, I think we need to take you on you.
Say that again. You cut out again.
Fleegan, we do need to get you over. I think we have an opinion on what you've seen.
I would agree, except you're on the other side of the tent.
Well, I'm waving you over.
Maybe that's why you're getting so choppy, is you're 60 feet apart.
Is there bugs over there? What's going on over there?
I may actually need to get a new headset. Problem.
I'm gonna walk over there too.
Good luck for trying to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you doing push to talk?
No, I'm not.
Huh. It's just he'll be talking and it just kind of goes. So.
Yeah, I have the same problem that I'm. So.
Yeah, you
There
might.
it
I
is,
don't know.
good.
Your headset. It's happening quite a bit. So.
Yeah.
I'll continue to ask if I miss something. So.
Sure.
But, yeah. What would you guys like to do?
I think we need to go see Mother.
Check
Yes.
on her for sure.
All right. Is that the plan?
I will have to agree.
That's
It's
the
the first
plan.
time I was seeing that strange bird, and I thought my friends were seeing stuff due to bad ale. I figured they must have partaked of the bear's ale behind my back, but now I'm not so sure.
No, you walked through the mushrooms, so you're with us. You caught up.
Hey, don't judge me.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, as you where did that? You guys can go ahead and head to the Mother's tent. As you do such, as you're heading that direction, you see a human male with an eye patch and a very distinctive handlebar mustache who seems to be acting suspiciously.
Okay.
Does he have a cape?
He does not have a cake. Mm-hmm.
Does he have a girl tied to railroad tracks?
Does he have a walking stick and a top hat?
No, he does not. There are other top hats throughout this carnival, but he does not. His movements seem odd and erratic, and his uncovered eye darts about warily, as if he's nervous about something.
Maybe we should take care of that first.
Somebody
Care
give me
of
an
his eye?
insight. Somebody give me an insight check, please.
Could it be that woman in
Bruh.
disguise?
Does this guy have a bottom hat on?
Nice.
No, I don't believe I've ever seen a bot. Not sure what that is.
Me either.
But yeah, you're trying to discern motives. Not sure exactly what he's doing, but his unfortunate and suspicious set of mannerisms don't seem to have any sort of nefarious purpose. He just kind of seems.
He just seems that way.
He just, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Do you guys
Odd.
confront him?
Hey,
Has
looking in any general direction,
Yeah,
kind of nervously.
has
he
anybody
real?
else taken him as, or looking at him also?
There are other people in the crowd seem somewhat distracted. Think of that odd person that you may have known, whether it be in college or around a place or something like that, who just does strange things. And
His
people
name's
notice that and
Steve.
say that. Yeah. But yeah, some others kind of noticed it and that, and he's just, I don't know, he's just acting weird and moving weird
It's
and
odd.
kind of shambling, strange, almost.
I'll make sure there's no stairs close by for him to fall down, because that's the person I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I'll go over and speak with him.
Okay. All right. What do you say? He's
Excuse me,
he's just
sir.
kind of walking around behind you and everything. And you
I'll
sort of
back
come
him.
over and say, excuse
I'll
me,
back
sir.
him
Okay,
up.
Go ahead. Tell me what you do.
Excuse me, sir. You seem to be distracted. Is everything all right?
So when you come over and you say that, it's what? And almost like he was surprised and talk with him, and he turns around and he says, "Hey!" And he's got a patch over one eye, and his other eye kind of looks at you, and kind of shifts around, kind of rolls around in his eye socket a bit, and almost as if it's trying to focus on you and looking past you at some point, and then back at you, and then when he begins to speak, the eye just kind of looks off to the side. Not even at you, but he's talking to you. So it's a little bit disarming as he looks in you. He's like, no, who are you again?
I'm here to help. Is there something
Security.
wrong?
No, why would you think that there is something wrong? What
You look like
What is
you may
going
have
on?
lost something.
No, just here to enjoy the, excuse me, were you asking me a question? And he just looks, all of a sudden his eye just focuses right on you. Completely changed, and he seems sane of statement and asks you that question and looks at you very inquisitively.
Are you okay?
I am fine, friend. What is it that you were looking for?
Does his mannerisms, physical mannerisms, change as well?
Yeah, he's not twitching at all. stands upright. Seems sane.
Very good then. Just making
He-
sure everything is okay.
Seems a little.
Yeah, no, everything is just fine. Yes. And then all of a sudden his mannerisms change again, and his leg twitches out a little bit. His kind of flips around behind him, somewhat backwards, and his head kind of cocks off to the side. And he looks at you and he goes, "Dark in the trees, long away in the breeze. A strange tower to be seen. Find it if you must. But I do not know what you would glean." And he kind of twitches and he pays you no mind at this point and starts to kind of shuffle away a little bit. What do you do?
I'll let him shuffle. Shaking my head.
Yup.
He kind of shuffles around a little bit and kind of looks back over at you with his cocked head. His eye flips around a little bit.
Does it look like he's trying to beckon me to follow him?
Give me an insight. It doesn't seem as if he's beckoning you, but it's hard to tell.
Which way is he shuffling? Towards the front or the back of the... Yeah,
In
towards
no
the seller's
particular
right?
direction. He kind of goes, it's kind of erratic. He direction, shuffle, direction, he moves back around.
Does he seem like he's a danger to anyone or himself?
Give me a perception check. No, not at all. It doesn't seem like he's being a danger to anyone. He's
All
just
right.
odd. He's very odd.
I'll leave him be.
Yeah, let's get to Mother.
All right, so you guys come back around to the Sears tent, and you peek inside. There's a line of a few people outside, and you go over to the back area that you know about, and kind of take a peek inside. And she's visiting with a customer at this point. And so, do you guys want to just wait until she's done?
Yes.
Gotta be respectful of the mother.
All right. So you wait until the customer that she's done with is finished up, and they head out of the tent. What do you do with his? She beckons the next customer to come inside the tent.
Ask them to wait while we go in really quickly and check. Let's say we'll just be a minute.
Okay. The look on their face kind of frowns a little bit because they had been waiting in line for a while, but they stop as they see the sharp axe that you have hanging off of the belt, as you say such things, and you all
Probably heard I can tear up a shelf full of glass pretty quickly.
Yes, they probably.
How do they
Probably.
look? Do they look like a rich person or like a common folk coming in? It does mean a difference to Quimber if they're ill-fated versus the prospects.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably more of a middle-up individual dressed somewhat finely. And speaking of top hats, yeah, this male individual is sporting a rather sizable top.
Can I
Yeah,
call
we'll
for
get
him?
Fleegan in there and address Mother and tell her what's going on with.
Okay. Kimber, were you going to say
Yeah.
something else? Sorry.
No, I was looking for somebody that might have been ill-fated, had torn clothes or something like that, do him a little bit of favor, but this individual, it doesn't look like I can do him any good.
All right. All right, so you guys head in, and you're gonna speak with Mother. She smiles at you. Ah, my Zatis, how does the day go for you today? Or the rest of the
Well-
day?
Started off
Well-
great.
Yeah.
It's been like a tumbling fall down a steep hill since then.
Oh,
Maybe
God.
love isn't in the cards for you.
Oh, God, yes. Let me
We'll
see.
change to dice then.
We shall see. We shall see. Maybe someday. For we shall speak. I shall talk with you another. I know that the youngster here. I look at him and I see that you have questions.
Yes,
She's
Mother,
looking at Fleegan. Yes.
Yeah. So, I know you got a bunch of customers out there, but we have there's a fire. There's all kinds of things going on. There's like visions and ravens and hawks and sparrows and puppet shows, and so I had a vision.
Slow down, my son. Slow down. Say that again. You had a vision.
I had a vision.
She looks at
Hey.
you very, very intently as you say that, and you see her expression change slightly when you say that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Tents. I saw everything on fire. The wagons, the tents, the manicore. It was very disturbing. And I think I'm not the only one.
That is quite strange indeed, my Zatis. Young Frenta. There is much that we need to discuss, but now be not the time. I sorry that we cannot discuss now, but I am glad you brought these to me. So I would say, my young Frenta, that be patient and know that you be special, and that we may talk more about this soon. We need to talk more about this soon. But many customers and much coin we need yet to get us through this dark winter. And so therefore, I need to work. But we shall have time this evening to sit down and speak of such things. That be okay with you? No, do not worry. All will be well.
Take him to the puppet show. He'll be all right.
Yes, Mother.
Thank you, Mother.
And yes.
We've all been having issues. I've been hearing voices as well.
And her head snaps towards your direction, Kennedy. And
Kenna takes a step back with fear in her eyes.
I must know more about the things. What is it that you see? Tell me now. And one of the customer that was waiting, because they've been waiting here for a few minutes, and she says, "You must wait. This is important." And she snaps her gaze back to you, and she's quite intent on that.
Or I'll go talk to the customers to keep.
Yeah, I heard a low cacophony of murmuring and groaning noises. I've seen a small black dog with a nameplate that says Dragoon. I heard voices when we were in the well, dealing with the spiders. I have been having feelings of fear and trepidation and uneasiness that my companions don't seem to notice or have.
She approaches you and sets her hand upon your forehead. And she says,
I'll kneel down for her.
Yeah. She says, "This be not good tidings, my young one, my dear. Something is not right. I fear for our future. I must speak with the Vendra about this."
Is it the year of fears? Is that what we're seeing?
It may be all wrapped up with that, but I do not know. It's veiled from me at these moments. But I must speak with the Vendra and the Borundan Council about these things, and I do not wish to alarm my young children. And her countenance brightens a little bit, and she tries to become more encouraging and sweet at this point, because she's realizing that you all seem somewhat nervous about what she's saying and how she's reacting. So,
yeah.
but I have no more that I know that I would be able to share at these. So I tell you, my children, fear not. We have preserved these many years. We will preserve as we move through these dark and strange times. So we shall talk more. Yes, Freegan, you and I must speak later this evening. Kenna, anything else that might appear to you, please bring it to my attention, and we shall know further what these strange visions may be. These strange. I do not feel that these visions are these things you are seeing are visions. Something be special about you. We need to figure this out. I need to speak with the Bondoran Council first to plan and know as we move forward. Okay?
Of course, Mother, immediately.
As Quimber walks out, he's like, I don't understand. Does this have something to do with that big bird with the red eyes? I don't get it.
He says that out loud in front of her, I assume?
Yeah, as he's walking out of the tent.
She doesn't seem to acknowledge that statement in any means. And
as we walk out as well, I'm gonna nudge Kenna and say, "Yeah, so I see things on fire, burning down. Yeah, you hear voices, and she gets worried."
I don't know.
Normally, anyways, what's the difference?
I don't know, but I think both of us need to be concerned. I think all of us need to be concerned.
Yeah, this will drive me to drink. Or mushrooms, I'm not sure which.
You drink and do mushrooms anyway.
Yeah, I gotta love the mushrooms. Well, as you guys are heading out of she's ushering. You hear kind of a scream and yell of children, kind of giggling and laughing, and what sounds like one of your fellow companion Frenta fussing at some of the children over there in front of the puppet show area, and you see Trem and Trom. These two are actually chasing each other with sticks, as one of your Frenta friends is running after them, trying to keep them from hurting each other, screaming at them as they're running by. You also see Vezi, the one that you had seen earlier and talked to Legan, is running away from Jovessa, which is this young lady herself. And Jovessa's upset at what Vezi must have in her hand that she wants, and she makes a wave of her. Jovessa makes a wave of her hand to probably cast what you would only consider as mage hand because you've seen that before. As she tries to pull the bag of what's probably some sort of sweet nuts or something like that she must have taken from her out of her hand and pull it back, while the other Frenta is freaking that she's actually using her magical skill in front of the crowd around, because people get weirded out by that kind of stuff. Where Callistia and Strend here are taking some skewers that they had probably eaten some kebabs recently, and they're mock sword fence fighting with each other, while Theros' little brother Janig here is actually shadow boxing with the side of the puppet tent right there. Not sure exactly why he's doing that, but seems to be having fun. And then, what's her name? Krita. Krita right here is sitting in the puppet show tent, kind of taking a gander and visualizing what's going on with the rest of everybody. But it seems to be somewhat chaotic and mayhem. Think that your friends are at their wits' end. What do you do?
I'll head on over.
We should help them.
And what I'll do is, outside the rest of the kids and the rest of the crowd, I'll try to get the kids' attention, and I'll lay down on the ground and time to wrestle.
Okay, so Trem and Trom come and they jump on top of you, laughing and giggling as they start to wrestle around with you. And they're having a great time of that, rolling around. Fleegan, what were you going to do?
I will chase after Vezi and try to find out what's going on between her and the girl.
Okay.
See if I can catch Vezi.
Okay. Yeah, you're even with your shorter legs, you're still able to catch her. As she sees you coming, she runs around behind you, and tries to put herself between you and Jovessa as Jovessa's kind of tearing up and everything. And she says, She took my nuts. She took my candy nuts. I want them back. Why did she have to take them back? Can you get them for me, please?" And Vesi's like, "I didn't take them. I just wanted some, and then she said that I took them, and I can't believe she would accuse me of doing. Can you help me, please?"
Now, children, stop! You should learn to share and be kind. And when did I become a parent? And so, you just have to make sure that you are friends.
So you're kind of patting them on the head. As they're dancing around you on either side.
I will buy you both some candy nuts.
They stop for a moment and they both look at you as you say that. And they get these big grins on their face. And then each one on each leg, wraps their arms around your legs and gives you a big hug. And they start smiling and thanking you and saying, "Oh, thank you so much."
I will pick them. I will put one in each arm and we'll go hop skipping down to the nutted candy store and singing.
Okay. Yeah, that's over at the Tent of Sweets, which is up by the Tent of Warm Feelings, which is where Stoof is, first father. So that's up in that area. Kenna, did you do anything with the children?
Yeah, the kid who's shadow boxing against the tent, I'm gonna kind of walk up to him and be like, "Well, you don't punch at the tent. You spar with your friends." I get into a stance.
Okay. All right. So he kind of turns around and he gets a big smile on his face. So, he's pretty appreciative of the fact that you're going to teach him some things. Gror, were you doing something with the children?
It seems like Fleegan has them under control.
So you're just hanging out watching what's going on?
How far away is my mother?
She is way up near the entrance.
Okay. I thought she might be like over here too.
No, she's up near the main food tents. And the drink wagons up there where the bear carcass was getting taken.
All right.
That's where she is.
Well, I think that's all the kids, though, right? And the other one or the other teenager, like us, walked away with Fleegan as well, correct?
No, just the two girls went away with Fleegan. There's these two right here. These two right here. Those are kind of sparring with each other, kind of poking and flipping their little skewers back and forth. And they seem to be having a good time. They're not really fighting. But you hear a ring of a bell that signifies that the puppet show is about to begin. And Kimber, were you going to do one thing before that happens?
Boy.
I'll try to get them to sit down then, too, to watch the puppet show so that everybody else can find a place to see it from.
I'll just move up to the two that are sparring and kind of make little noises, a little bit of magic as they swing at each other like they're actually hitting each other. And when they seem surprised by the looks, I'll just laugh. Hopefully they'll laugh with me.
Yeah, both of them look at you and they're quite... I should have shown this to you earlier as I was talking about all of them. There they all are. There's pictures of all. But they smile at you and they're quite grateful at the fact that you're interacting with them, and their boorish babysitters that they had recently are boring them, and so they speak with you for a moment, thanking you for coming over and spending time with them, because they're awfully adorable. You guys find a special place in your heart for these kids. You are the teenagers. You are the friend. They are the youngsters, and the parents are often very busy doing the various things that are needed to keep Carnival going, and then you guys help out in the various ways, and then the children have to be looked after, but they're the ones going to follow the footsteps as you graduate on into being the leaders of the troop, things that you do with the troop. And they're like your younger brothers and sisters, every single one of them. They're all special. They're sweet, they're smart. Trom and Trim, the twins, often tell you guys about who might be good marks, especially to Fleegan, who in the customers for the carnival might be good marks to maybe lift a coin here and there, or take over to certain areas that, like the gambling tents, people who might be a little over confident in their ability to gamble, that might be good marks for that, or individuals that think that they're confident enough to get into the ring, but not strong enough, as they may think, or nimble enough to be able to beat Mama and Papa, things like that. So the kids are really good at having enough insight to point out how to keep things going and keep coins flowing into your and stuff. And long story short, you absolutely love these children as if they were your own family, which they really are. They're like little brothers and sisters to you. They're very sweet. And the puppet show is about ready to begin.
Czar, you should know what we were doing before. Some boring patrol. I'm happy to be here with you.
And you say that to who?
The kids that thought I was giving them attention when truly I was bored already, and that they're bringing the thrill and fun to my night.
And they say, "Oh, that is so sweet. You are such a wonderful big friend, and we love you so much. Thank you." All right, so the puppet show's about to begin. Eh? You guys gonna gather around?
Yeah, I'll stop wrestling and have the kids sit on my lap, I'll be sitting on the ground, cross-legged, and have the twins, sit on my lap, and back any of the other kids to come sit with me.
Yeah, one of them, he's happily presses a coin into your palm and I think you might have dropped this. As he does so. But after he does that, he says, the curtains for the show begins, and the curtains pull back on the booth, and a music box in the tiny stage plays a garbled but jaunty tune. The youngsters all abandon their current activities to sit with you and go and watch. And they are also joined by several local children that run over to see the puppet show as well. A sheet with a Hanata's caravan roughly painted on it rises behind the booth, and several stuffed cloth dolls held up on wooden sticks rise up to begin the tale. The oddly colored puppets, all dressed in distinctly Hanata's attire, bumble about, bumping into each other, dropping things, and making silly noises to the delight of the children.
And
Yet-
Fliegen.
And Fliegen, obviously. Yet, as they fool about, dark figures appear at the edge of the... Though fashioned in the same innocuous style as the others, there is something sinister about puppets. And the children cry out in warning to the Hanata's nobles. As the dark puppets move in to attack, another shadowy figure emerges amongst the Hanatas. Yet this one has a smirking and colorful mask, and a hat sporting silver bells. The mischievous new doll darts back and forth, outmatching the dark figures single-handedly, and before driving them off entirely. The children cheer and the puppet bows before slipping away, leaving the joyous Hanata's doll to wiggle and dance in victory. Yet, strangely, as the curtains slowly draw closed, the sticks holding the many of the puppets aloft inexplicably snap, sending the dolls tumbling into the crowd of children. Only a handful of the puppets remain upright. And as you catch a final glimpse, those final few remaining figures look oddly familiar. Almost like crude representation of you, Dozatis.
What?
Very ominous for everyone else.
Fliegen, can you give me a constitution, please? Okay. At the very moment that the puppet sticks snap, you are suddenly overcome by weakness, and you kind of fall over, hunch over to your knees as you begin to retch as nausea and dizziness starts to overcome you.
Just isn't my day.
Do the rest of us see that?
Yeah, you actually see him kind of keel over and retch, and Vezi is quite scared and concerned, and she reaches over and she rubs your back as you kind of retch and spit on the ground. And Jovessa kind of squeals a little bit and starts to cry and whimper next to you. But Vezi is quite concerned, and she rubs your hand upon your back and she says, Fliegen, what's going on? Tell me, are you okay?
I don't feel good.
No, you certainly don't. And actually, for the next half an hour play, I'll tell you when it subsides, you'll actually have -2 on initiative rolls, -2 on attack and damage rolls. The fact that you are not
Try to take
feeling
the two girls, like, and pick them up and say, give him some room to breathe. Let him breathe. Kimber, can you help him?
Kimbar is rushing behind the display to see who's been doing the puppet show.
Yeah, Kenna's back there too.
Yeah.
I'll look around looking for the bird that I know is there.
Go ahead and give me a perception check there, Thera. Kimber, you go around to see if you can determine who's running the puppet show, and strangely, there was nobody in running that show. Also, you guys recognize immediately that nothing like this has ever happened that you've ever known.
He's supposed to run the puppet show.
Wait, are those puppets still up and moving about?
No, they're down. Most of them
okay.
sticks that they move around have snapped, and the others have just kind of gone back down behind the stage area where normally there's a couple of people sitting down back underneath where the others can't see, and then they hold up the puppets on sticks and move them around. And as like I said, Kimber went around to look and see who it was who was running the show. There was actually nobody running the show. And all the puppets that were left standing that you thought looked similar to you all are actually now down, just laying on the ground back there.
I think Jinx has been pulling our strings.
They've never had those puppets before. We've never seen those puppets during the shows before, have we?
Whether you recollect or not that you've seen those puppets, maybe, but because they take on different shapes, but they just the collection seemed oddly representative of the five of you.
Okay.
And so, it's not that they've just kind of appeared out of thin air. It's just the way that they're dressed and everything just looks, because they changed the dressing on the puppets for each show and stuff like that. They just happen to all together look oddly like the five of you, and they were the five of the ones all the rest of them snapped, except for those five. And now they're just laying on the ground. Nobody was running the show. Fleegan is sick on the ground, although Kimber Kimber wasn't ministering. Kimber was checking things out. The kids are concerned and a little bit scared. Vezi's rubbing Fleegan's back. Jovessa's crying. Janig stopped sparring, obviously because to watch the show, and his mouth is open. The other kids are kind of from the town and stuff that came over to watch are kind of looking around, and the parents that were standing around are kind of looking at you all with kind of wide-eyed wonder and concern as we finish for the evening. So, my friends, wow, what a interesting and fun evening that we had playing The Darkest Dream tonight. Lots of strange information coming our way, similar to what happened last, but we had some combat, we had some fun, we had some mystery, some intrigue, got some fun role play, had an interesting bout of perception checks. Oh, I forgot to mention, Theros, that you did not see. That's
way to end it, huh?
Yeah. That is how we will finish for the evening. So I will say to our audience who hung on for the evening, thank you for spending time with us. We will come again the next time, and looking forward to you joining us for session 7. And I think that's a interesting number as we really try and figure out what might be going on here with The Darkest Dream, presented by the Greater Mulmaster and written by Gooey Cube. So we thank you for joining us tonight. And as I ask every evening, did we all have fun this evening?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Well, good. Well, we hope tonight that everybody's eyes have been opened by wonder. And as the great Master Goo himself, may all of your adventures be sticky, my friends. Have a good evening.